Okay, what an awesome day to be alive. What an awesome day to be finding answers. Yes. Got this call. I'll remove these worldly things from off my face. From an old friend. And I heard him say, there's not much new in my one-horse town. So I asked, what's up? Hey, what's a coming down? He said, I'm just looking for answers. I'm just trying to find a little faith in my future. That's what we're all looking for. And some real peace of mind. For every rhyme there's a reason. For every wrong there's a right. I'm just looking for answers. I'm just looking for life. Oh yeah. Everybody's looking for answers. I just come from a store, and the store owner says to me, Sam, what do I do if people start breaking into my store and smashing it like they're doing in other cities? I says, call up your friends. Get armed like they did in Coeur d'Alene, like they did in Las Vegas. And just stand outside. I says, they'll drive on by. And I have to think, every place we go these days, people are looking for answers. Another short video this is going to be. I remember growing up, there was a young fellow who lived at my place. I didn't have any brothers, had 4 sisters, poor, pitiful me. But anyway, he was living at our place, and we grew up on this farm. Right where our farm was, it was about 3,800 acres. A highway ran right through the middle of our farm. There was a big cow barn on the north side of the road, a bunch of hogs on the south side of the road were our houses where we lived, chicken farm. Anyway, on this place, we was always trying to get away from the young boys in the place. But every single place we would go to hide, to talk, to visit, these guys would follow us. They were like a coon dog. We couldn't go anywhere and they would find us. There's only so many places you could hide. Well, my buddy says to me, he says, I've got a plan. He says, I know how we'll get rid of these guys and how we'll make them stop following us. I says, what you thinking? He says, let's go up on top of the hayloft. He says, I'll show you. So we went up on top of this hayloft, and there was a big hole where we used to throw hay down into the manger. And so he goes and starts to take baler twine over top this hay, stretches it, and then he puts a bunch of hay on it, and you couldn't tell where the hole was. And behind that hole was a wall, and he says, let's go hide behind that wall. I just about stepped into that hole before I got behind the wall. So we get behind this little, probably 4-foot wall, and we're waiting there. And we wait, and all of a sudden we could tell the kids were downstairs because we could hear them talking. And we were just waiting for them to come upstairs and fall down through that hole. Crazy, they could have broke their neck. They could have broke a leg. But I guess back then you don't think of that stuff. Well, we waited, and they didn't come upstairs. They just kept talking and visiting downstairs. I guess they knew they had us cornered upstairs and we were going to come down. But they did not expect us to come down the way we came down. My buddy taps me on the shoulder and he says, hey, Sam, I'll go see where they are. He steps up from behind that wall. This is the truth and nothing but the truth. And he steps right out into the middle of that hole. And all I heard was a scream and a thud as dust rose up from that manger below. and he crashed down into the hole that he had covered for others. Them kids downstairs, all of a sudden I could hear him talking loudly. What's going on? What's going on? He fell into the hole he had covered. Proverbs 26 verse 27 says that whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Whoso rolleth a stone, it's going to roll back on him. These things are sure. The laws that God put in the universe are sure. I'm so glad today I don't have to spend my life covering holes, digging pits for other people to fall into. I don't have to spend my life trying to get vengeance on someone who done me wrong. I can face it, deal with it, and move on. Life is too short to let someone else take real estate up in my mind. What I'm supposed to do with my mind is Romans 12, where it says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. In other words, God asks us as professors of knowing God to show how a Christian should react. Haven't always done it. Don't know how good I'm going to do in the future, but I ask God to help me. But so far, I do not know the man I was before. And what has changed is simply thought patterns. New thought patterns. Taking responsibility for what I think. Bringing every thought to the obedience of Christ. Try it. You want your life to change radically? You gotta watch what you put in here. You want your body feeling good? You gotta watch what you put in here. You gotta watch what we put in here. Very simple grade 1 stuff. No one's gonna stand before God and say, well, I didn't know. We all know. In fact is, this is how far Jesus took it when he was here. He says, do not rejoice when your enemy falls. Don't rejoice when your enemy falls, because God sees it. And his calamity will come over on you. Think about it. I'm going to think about it. I thank God vengeance belongs to him. Proverbs 26 verse 27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Whoso rolls a stone, like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, it will come back on him. If we're looking for answers, they're in the book. And they're real. Love you. God bless you. Have an awesome, awesome day.